Today is the 7th of October. Across Israel and the world, ceremonies are being held to remember the victims of Hamas's attack on Israel and the start of fighting in Gaza. Of course, tragedy has many dimensions. One of them is economic. On today's programme, we look at what the widening conflict means for the global economy, from the price of oil, which, as we mentioned, has been climbing, to more regionally, what the impact has been. As we know from the International Monetary Fund, Gaza has seen its GDP shrink almost 90% since the start of the conflict. In Israel, it is down around 20 or 25%. So to talk more about Israel and the economy there, we're joined by Jon Medved. He is chief executive of the Israeli investment firm OurCrowd, and he joins us now from Israel. Thank you very much for coming on the programme today. As I just mentioned, obviously, it has had a devastating impact on both the Gaza economy and on Israel. But obviously, you can talk to us more from the Israeli perspective. What has been the impact? What is it like as a company doing business there right now?
Well, first of all, today is a very, very sad day because all of us have been affected. We all have friends and relatives who have been hurt in the campaign, either as soldiers or in the terrible attacks of October 7th a year ago. None of us expected the war would last this long. And there have been impacts on our economy. So, for example, sectors such as construction or agriculture without foreign workers, many of them Palestinian workers, our tourism industry has been, quite impacted. And of course, we've had some rating downgrades by the rating agencies. But what's remarkable, actually, is how resilient Israel's economy has been despite the 1 year of war. It turns out that Israel's primary industry is high-tech technology and the investment in venture capital and building companies. That's what we do here at OurCrowd. And that represents today over 20% of our GDP and over 50% of our exports. And this sector seems to be weathering the storm remarkably, so much so that in the first 9 months of the year, investment in Israel during 9 months of war are actually up over 32% relative to last year. Go figure. How is it that a country which is being fought on 7 fronts is actually sustaining its high-tech economy? It's remarkable.
I mean, at least globally, people were looking at Israel's high-tech sector at the start of this conflict and wondering what would happen. You yourself set up a resilience fund. Can you tell us a bit more about that? How many funds have you dispersed so far, and what was the goal?
So our goal was to make it easy for people to back Israeli companies. And so we set up this resilience fund with no fees associated or no carried interest. And the response was really very positive. We were one of several efforts like this. The government also made special funds available. But what's remarkable is that foreign investors of all kinds have responded to Israel. And in fact, this year, Israel hit an all-time high of the percentage of foreign investors who are participating in venture capital rounds. And it turns out that at this point, it's 93% of all funding rounds have foreign participation. So the foreigners have still kept investing in Israel, and it's really due to 3 major sectors that are strong. Israel is hugely important in terms of cybersecurity, and that continues to be very, very well performing for investors. We're very strong in artificial intelligence, where about 35% of the global money is now going in venture capital. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you, just because we're short on time. With the conflict widening, has your phone been ringing from concerned foreign investors worried about their investments?
No, that has not at all. In fact, what they want to do is figure out where is the opportunity. I think most people realize that Israel is bringing this war to a positive decision in its favor. We were badly attacked on October 7th a year ago. We were attacked needlessly by Hezbollah in the north. We've been attacked brutally by Iran from over the horizon. And we're taking the war to our enemies, and we are going to have a decisive victory. And everyone knows when you have a decisive victory, you have an economic rebound and the economy will be booming. And we're looking forward to that. And that's what our investors are seeking.
Jon Medved, Chief Executive of OurCrowd, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.